I think the evidence seems to be clear for people with established heart disease that there is a mortality benefit and there is a reduction in heart attacks. I use the NNT numbers needed to treat.
What was that?
Numbers needed to treat NNT. In fact, actually, that's something that's really useful for everybody here. They'll be enlightened. There is a website which is free called thennt.com. Okay, the one word, thennt, numbers needed to treat.com. And it gives lots of information of different therapies. It's peer-reviewed. It goes through lots of different things in medicine, stents, statins, aspirin, and it gives you the absolute pain. So they call it unquoted outcomes, but actually they're also doctor-reported outcomes. So say, for example, aspirin use in prevention, 1 in 360 chance they will prevent it. And you look at it. Well, I mean, giving for example, but it is something like that. So in primary prevention. So it actually breaks it down so you can understand the real benefits. It also talks about what harms are there, and it gives you an overall green light, red light, don't give the drug, etc. You'd be amazed when you look at it. So that's what I think people should look at. With statins, my view is people with heart disease certainly should be offered the drug, but I think we need to be honest in prescriptions. So 1 in 83 mortality benefit if you've had a heart attack. Okay? 1 in 83 will benefit in terms of life prolonged, and 1 in 39 will have a non-fatal heart attack prevented if they take it religiously for 5 years and they don't get side effects. Right? So you've got to look at it in that context. So this is what now, if you haven't got heart disease, even high-risk primary prevention, there may be a small reduction in heart attacks, but there's no prolongation of life. Let the patient decide. Let the patient decide.
So what are you saying?
I personally wouldn't take it if I was high risk of a statin. If I had a heart attack, maybe I would. I don't know. I'm not in that situation, so maybe I would. But you know, let the patient decide if they want to take the drug.
So if someone has heart disease, you explain to the patient what statins, and you ask them to decide. I mean, here the culture is that they will say, no, you're the doctor, you should decide.
That's fine. So some patients also will say that to me.
Yeah.
But I think we need to move to this empowering the patients a bit more, because we're more transparent, more ethical way of practicing medicine. Because then we encourage patient choice. And if a patient says, yes, doctor, I'm not sure, you tell me what to do, then fine, we make the decision. So at least give them, at least put it, just make them aware about this actually, what the actual benefit is.
And about people without heart disease, they're coming with this, look at my total cholesterol is 300 something, should I give statins?
Yeah, so there isn't any real, treating high cholesterol alone is not, you know, if you're low risk, say you just have high cholesterol, but all the other risk factors are not there isn't any benefit from taking a statin. There isn't any real strong benefit. The statin prescription is usually now based upon, what people forget this, it's not based upon high cholesterol. It's, unless you have FH, familial hyperlipidemia, it's not based upon treatment of that. It's based upon your Q risk, your risk of having a heart attack or stroke in the next 10 years. So you have this calculator.
Q risk?
Yeah, it's called Q risk. Yeah, you can look that up as well. You can put in different things, so diabetes, family history, blood pressure, total cholesterol to HDL ratio. It tells you, everybody here can probably do it themselves because it's quite easy. It will calculate for you what your likelihood of having a heart attack or stroke is in the next 10 years. If it's less than 20%, there is no mortality benefit of taking a statin. You're not going to live a day longer. But why this is crucial, the majority of people around the world, for those people, and so I have no issue, fine. But do you think those people know this? Do you think those people of the 100 million, almost whatever, 75 million people taking a statin, do you think they know every day they're taking this pill because their doctors don't take it? Do you think they know it's not going to make them live a day longer? They probably don't. And if they did, would they still take the drug? Probably not. So tell them.
So let's say someone undergoes angioplasty and they are on statins, but they come back saying, I've got this chest pain, muscle ache.
And they will tell you yes or no, interfering with your life. You know if you're feeling, if it's really impacting them, really making you feel miserable, you know that. And if they say yes, I say, let's try 2 weeks off the statin. And if they get better, then I say, have a discussion with your doctor, you need a statin. Or I tell the doctor to restart a lower dose and see how they get on. Often they do a lot better on the lower dose. It's a high dose where the chances of side effects are more. But it's also an opportunity to have a discussion with the patient, to tell them about the absolute benefits so they know this as well, right? So then it's an opportunity for me, and anyway, I talk about lifestyle. I say, by the way, do you know that if you do the lifestyle changes, it's going to have a much better impact in the short term as well as long term?
that's the thing, right? Like, there's a lot of cultural thing there. Like, I feel if I try to have a discussion with my patient about statins, they'll get the shock of their life. And, or even worse, they'll think I'm incompetent. What is this guy? He can't even make up his mind. So I think maybe that shift needs to happen, like you said.
Well, the same we talk about medicine being exact science. I mean, most of the public think it is, you see. They think it's absolute black and white. But it's not. There's a huge, huge area of grey. So there's a cultural problem there, you see, a perception problem.
And so it was interesting to read this EMJ systemic review which you were a part of. For people above 60 years, there is an inverse relationship between LDL and
mortality. So so we did a systematic review looking at people over 60, not that, to see what the relationship between LDL cholesterol and heart disease was. There was no relationship at all between LDL and heart disease.
So and it said that so if the LDL went up,
the people with higher LDL had less mortality. Okay. And we think it's because the cholesterol is involved in the immune system and it's protective. LDL may be protective against pneumonias and that kind of thing. The elderly are more vulnerable to infection. So that may be the protection.
I think that's what we talk a lot about the harmful effects of cholesterol and very little time on the benefits of cholesterol.
Well, it has a very vital role in the body. It has so many roles. Whether it's a precursor to hormones, vitamin D, cholesterol is a vital molecule. Without cholesterol, we would die.
So